So today, I'm just starting this new segment where I really help people with their spiritual journey because I see a lot of people getting into spirituality with like the wrong mindset. Everything is a competition, everything is competitive and stuff like that. And spirituality was never meant for competition. It was never meant for that type of energy. If anything, the people that's been in the game longer should be the vets and helping other people come in, because I see, even like to collab with a spiritual person or something, people are like gatekeeping. I understand you have to be chosen, but it's like a lot of people aren't up. Let me be clear, a lot of people that's been in spirituality for a long time, they're, I'm not gonna say all, but they don't have that helping energy. It's like competitive, you know what I mean? Or they'll get into spirituality and copy and not really do things from their heart, be creative and things like that. So I just want to speak to those who are just getting into their journey and feeling like you have to look a certain way, you have to be a certain way, you have to act a certain way. That comes with the growth. That comes as you grow in your spiritual journey. But you do not need those things to be spiritual. You do not need to look and act like everybody else to be spiritual. To me, I'm not going to say that when somebody said they're spiritual and they just play the part, like just try to look like it and have the beads and stuff like that, that doesn't make you spiritual. I know so much people that mimic things that I'm doing, try to put on like the scarves and all the jewelry and stuff like that, and then they make it seem like, oh, I'm this spiritual person. That's fine. But what do you know up there? Where's your knowledge? Where's your spiritual downloads? Where's your connection to the ancestors? Where's your connection to source? Do you pray? Are you intentional with your words? Do you treat people right when there's no camera rolling? What are you putting in your vessel, mind, body, and spirit wise? You know, those things are more important than what you see, because your eyes can be deceiving. A lot of people come into this. I don't even see, this is a thing. Spirituality is supposed to be a free practice, and people are making it religious. That's the point of being a spirit. You're free from certain things. You're not supposed to be like this culty energy. Like, so I just want to give people a breath of fresh air. When you freshly start in your journey, don't look at other people, because that's the quickest way. That's the quickest way to lose your mind, things of that nature. You know what I mean? So I just want to like briefly go through this awakening phase, because I feel like that's the first step you go through when you decide, all right, let me, religion is maybe not for me. I love God, but I feel like, I want to be more free. When you first have that feeling, this video, purpose of this video. My greatest advice to those who feel that way is research, research, research. Do your research day and night. Don't go and do anything without research. It could even be lighting a candle. You need to be careful and do your research. Do not be on social media watching these reels thinking, oh, I'm going to do this because this person. That's the wrong thing to do when it comes to freshly awakening your spiritual journey. People don't talk about that enough. These videos are meant to motivate and to inspire, and yeah, for information. But that doesn't mean because somebody put a video up, they're doing this to go do that. That's their path. That's their path. Now there is instructional videos where people are telling you what to do, but still research and see if that works for you, because the way they did it, that don't mean that that's the only way to do it. One, and two, You don't know if that works for you and your bloodline. So it's just stuff like that. I feel like that needs to be said more, because there's a lot of people that copies, and it could be dangerous. It could be dangerous because you don't know what you're copying. You don't know what you're doing. So I say that to say this, like, when you are firstly awakening and opening your third eye, doing your meditation, whether it's yoga or just centering yourself and getting and preparing to dive deeper into your journey, the best thing for you to do is research. Look things up. Research all day and night. Of course, rest. Of course, do what you need to do, but research. That's what helped me. I didn't rush anything. I've been on this spiritual journey for 8 years, almost 9. I never rushed. I never rushed to put myself out there for an image. I never thought I was just the perfect person and was looking down at everybody like, yeah. I never just did things for money. So it has to be in you. You have to naturally have a calling for it first, because this is not an easy journey. When you open your eyes and you realize you've been lied to about so much, it is something that could drive you crazy. That's why it's important for you to take the steps that's for you. Take the steps that's meant for you, because everyone has their own path. Okay, that's just the best way I could put it. A lot of times people see me, I have my hair like this, I have makeup on, whatever, my nails is always done. They think I'm not spiritual. But I can read them, their mom, their grandmother. I can do a lot of things. But that doesn't mean to put your business out there like that. You know what I mean? Incognito. People don't need to know that you're this type of person, unless you're that type of person that wants to tell the world. But I feel like build your character, build your connection. There's nothing greater than that, because you're going to become a blueprint, and people are going to start to look at you and be like so inspired, so moved and motivated by what you're doing. So I just feel like there's so much people that's low-key like me, and they don't fit the aesthetic of being spiritual, but it's okay. There is no aesthetic. This is a free practice. So that's like the first thing. I don't feel like if you're awakening spiritually, you don't have to go run and go get an evil eye bracelet. These are my regalias. These are my, I don't even want to show my stuff because it's sacred like that. But just know, like, I wear my spiritual jewelry, but it don't have to be like everybody else. I'm not going to show every little thing I have because people are weird in that way. But what's for me is for me. And I realized that. And I came into this journey doing those things. Like, oh, I need to go get me an evil eye bracelet, a little evil eye pendant right here. I want evil eye right here in my face. I want to put the eye of Horus under my eye. Like, no, when you first awakening, you're gonna want to like show yourself as a spiritual person. But trust me, that doesn't mean nothing. That doesn't mean nothing. If anything, that pushes you far away from being authentic. If you feel like you're spiritual and you want to keep the look you have, eventually you'll change into things like you will just naturally start to like flow into what was meant for you. But if you're spiritual and you have your hair like this or you got your nails done, that's fine. It's inside. It's spirituality. It's not physicality. You know what I mean? Like, so people be jumping into this journey and the first thing they want to do is copy. Or let me go wrap my head and let me go put these regalias on and now I'm spiritual. Yeah. No. Because inside, are you connected? So I just want to like really give y'all a breath of fresh air, because all spiritual people don't look like that. I do wrap my hair at certain times in sacred moments when I'm doing sacred practice by myself. I don't have to show the world that I'm spiritual, because at the end of the day, I like doing my hair. I like makeup, and I've always been like that since a child. But people will see you and get the wrong impression but that's fine. And it's gonna be people that have wrong impressions of you. You know, coming into this journey, it's not easy. People gonna judge you. People gonna think you evil, no type of weird ass shit. But doesn't really matter what people think. No, it really doesn't. It took me a long time to realize that, because I don't. You have to almost become selfless and selfish at the same time. I feel like you have to be able and ready for the criticism, able to take it, healed enough to hear it. You know what I mean? Because people are gonna say stuff. Maybe you gonna see something that somebody say. You know what I'm saying? I understand where you're coming from, but it's not true. Like, it's just stuff like that. I'm just trying to break down all the nitty gritty of when you first come into this journey, the things you deal with. You know, it's not easy. Especially my journey was different because I was alone. I didn't have a spiritual teacher. I learned straight from source, spirit, and ancestors. I didn't have a spiritual teacher. I didn't have a house. I didn't have what other people be having, a laku and stuff like that, which is fine if you have that. You should be thankful if you have those things. If you have a elder teaching you, if you have like an older person around you, definitely take advantage of that. But everybody's journey is different. Some people are alone. Some people, grandparents died at a young age and they didn't get to speak to no elder to like really pour that ancestry in them. You know what I mean? Or any of those stories, or just that teaching and that knowing of where you came from. So it's like some people wasn't blessed with that. So like I said, my journey was a little lonely because all my elders passed. My dad recently passed, and that's when I like got into my journey. You know, about 8 years ago, 9 years ago. So yeah, it's like that. It's not always rainbows and butterflies. Sometimes you're very lonely. And then when you get into this journey, you're gonna start seeing people fall off. You're just not gonna have friends. Not all, because I have a lot of friends still. But the people that's meant to be in your life will be there. The people that's not meant to be in your life won't. It's just simple as that. And it's easier said than when you're actually going through it, because these people that leave your life, sometimes you really don't be wanting to, like, you know what I mean? You really be attached to them. You be like close to them, and it hurts sometimes the way they leave your life, but that's just the journey of it all. They're not meant to be in your life. They're not. I feel like when you're awakening in this spiritual journey, stay to yourself, research, and take in as much as you can. Because there's going to be a lot of things that's going to make you feel uncomfortable. Because you got to unknow everything and then relearn again. That's like mad hard. It's hard because it's like, how am I supposed to just drop everything I know and then pick up from where? So that's why I said it's important to pray and do your research nonstop. Because eventually things will just come to you. Not like out of the blue sky. But like it'll be signs and it'll be things that match up, and then eventually you'll be like, oh, like the awakening is gonna start to like progress. But like I said, it's not easy. I just wanna say like you guys are doing good. I don't know who I'm speaking to, but I feel like you're just starting your journey. You're just gonna start your journey, or you're thinking about it, or you just started it. And Spirit's just telling me to tell you, just don't copy no one. There's something special about you. And people need to see you authentically. You are a blueprint for someone out there. So don't look at what other people are doing. I'm telling you. Don't listen to what people saying. It's between you and God. Your journey is between you and God. If you feel like you're chosen for something higher, you are. You are. Don't let no self-doubt or negativity somebody else. You're going to deal with that till you die. All right? That's never going to change. Don't let that stop you. And I'm speaking from experience, because it took me a while. Like I said, this journey for me, I was alone. Probably the whole time. I learned everything on my own, and my ancestors, spirit guides, of course. So it's not easy. It's not. And those who have elders around you and a house and all of that, take advantage. Not in a bad way, but learn. Do less talking and more listening. Try to have a humble spirit. Try to release all the spirits of jealousy, envy. Release those. I feel like when you're awakening, another important part when you're awakening spiritually is start to love yourself more. Do the inner work immediately so the inner work doesn't find you. You know what I mean? Like I said, people get into this journey and then let me wrap my hair, let me put on this stuff, I'm spiritual, and then they pretend until life really hits them. And it's like then they want to go run back to their religion, which is fine if you're religious. But that's my point of copying, because sometimes the path isn't for you. If you're meant to be religious, be religious. But don't look at what other people are doing and now you want to follow that. Don't do that. There's so much things out here in this world. And you just being yourself could help so much people. So don't ever feel like what you got to offer is not enough. Let me copy. No, you don't need to. There's someone out there that's going to fuck with it. There's someone out there that's going to listen. There's someone out there that's going to want that message or need to hear that message. Okay? So yeah, y'all. I could do this. I'm going to do this like once a week. We can do this every Friday. Just basically explaining the journey and my experience, and if I can help anyone out there on their journey. That's the goal. Because I want to selflessly help people. Not for money, not for anything like that. Just for those who need it. Because I know what I have to say will hit somebody that needs it. Whether it's, now or later. And that's another thing. Don't be afraid to put yourself out there. I waited so long to do stuff like this. If you feel like you have a calling to talk to people and motivate people and let them hear you, because you never know who you're going to reach. You never know. There's an audience for you out there. I feel like another thing when you're awakening, people don't tell you, you need to pray. Pray day and night. Pray for clarity. Pray for more knowledge to come to you. Pray for everything. Go to the bathroom, pray. You wake up in the morning, pray. Pray for your kids. Pray for your mom. Pray for your dad. Pray for the things that's to come. Pray for the things that you need to release. Pray for everything. Because you're going to see it work. No matter what. And it's like, you're going to have a lot of haters. That's one thing that comes with this journey. But who cares? I could write a book about haters I have. Most people have misunderstandings of you. And then most people just get envious and then they try to it gets weird. It gets weird. That's why prayer is important. Because you'll have people try to destiny swap, be low, jealousy, all type of stuff you deal with. And it's just like if you're not prayed up, it becomes overwhelming. It does. It does. So I really hope this video will help those who needed it. When you're starting your journey, just keep God close. Keep God super close to you and really do your research and try to figure out where you came from. Knowing who you are is going to be the most important step of your spiritual journey. Because if you don't know who you are, what are you doing? What are you doing? How is it going to be impactful? How are you going to have an impact on your bloodline? And don't rush. That's another big tip. Do not rush. It'll be there till you pass. And after you pass, because you're aligning your spirit. So don't have to rush this journey. You don't have to rush to be, you see somebody doing something with candles or whatever, you just chill. You don't have to do that. It's not yours. That's not yours to do right now. Relax. Stay on your path. That's like the best advice I can give y'all. Stay on your path, take things slow, research, and stay prayed up. Pray day and night. I feel like that was the most important thing for me. Another thing, when I was awakening, I started to have dreams and stuff like that. So if you're somebody that have dreams, like you're a dreamer, you dream about like real life events, you need to sleep with, get a lemon and a glass of water, and you need to sleep with that under your bed. You squeeze that lemon into that water and sleep with that over your bed. Pray over that water. Pray over that water before you put it under your bed or next to your bed. And really ask for God to remove all negative energy out of your life, out of your home, out of your room where you sleep, so you don't have no bad dreams or anything like that, and that you're always connected and protected. This is something that needs to be done at least once every 2 weeks or once a week, depending on how the water looks. All right? That'll help you a lot with dealing with evil eye and negativity. And when you're awakening, you're gonna, some people instantly step into the shadow work phase. Some people instantly step into that phase, but for others it takes a minute. But when you step into the shadow period, to me, that's the hardest part of spirituality. It's not when you start, because when you start you're excited. When you start, nothing happened yet, nothing crazy happened. You know what I mean? You started, you're excited to learn, you're like, woo, I'm on a new path, a journey, I feel so enlightened, you know, all that stuff. And then immediately the shadow work comes crashing in. So I feel like when you're starting your journey, right when you feel like everything is rainbows and butterflies, start your shadow work. Start to write down things you notice about yourself. Take your time to ask God to reveal all the things about yourself that you don't like so you can get rid of it. It's as simple as that. Slowly but surely you will creep into that shadow period, but the outcome is so sweet. Because shadow work, it just makes you face yourself and all the dark parts that you've been tucking in and hiding and stuff like that. This is where your dark feminines and dark masculines are birthed, because you start to embrace it instead of hiding it. A lot of people are coming to spirituality off of pretending. And then when the shadow work hits them, it hits them super hard. And then when they have to do their shadow work, it hits them super hard. So I feel like when you're first starting your journey, immediately start to dabble into your shadow work, because you don't want to be having the best moment of your life and then now you have to face yourself. I feel like once you into your journey, you know this is where you want to be. You know you're starting to feel like free and you want that spiritual enlightenment. Journal. Start journaling. Start manifesting through journal. And also just start releasing through journal. You can even write down all the things that you don't like about yourself and ask spirit to help you burn it away. And as you ask spirit to help you take it away, you can actually burn it. You can use like the three-legged, I don't know how to say it in English because I'm Haitian. We call it something else. But you could use the little three-leg thing. You burn those things that you don't want in your life anymore. You put it in and you throw it out the window. Throw it right out. Those things will help you. It will help you when you're awakening on your journey. And so I hope this video was informational and helpful for y'all. I will be making a video like this every Friday, just about spirituality and the things that you can do that'll help you in your journey. I'm Jennifer, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye.